All right, good afternoon or good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. My name is Tanner Gillette. I am the Assistant Director of Graduate Recruitment here at the UB School of Nursing. Thank you all for being here today. So welcome to Application Thursdays. We are doing these short presentations on Thursdays from November to March to cover a portion of the application to the UB School of Nursing's graduate programs. This is being recorded, so please keep yourself on mute and use the chat to ask questions during the presentation if you have any, or you can wait until the end of the presentation and I will stay on the call as long as there are questions. I will stop the recording at that time, and then we can have an open dialogue if anyone has any questions. So again, as I said, these are going to be covering a portion of the application for each of the for the graduate application. And today we will be talking about letters of recommendation. All right, so first let's cover the basics and then we will kind of go into how letters are received and whatnot. How many letters do you need for your graduate application? All of our programs require 3 letters of recommendation. We do not require more than 3 letters of recommendation, and submitting more will not increase your chances of being accepted. In fact, it'll actually just slow down the process because that is one more thing that we have to wait for before we can review your application, and we will still only read the first 3 that are submitted. So while something that submitting more will benefit their application, we require 3 and we only will look at 3. Who can be your recommenders for the letters of recommendation? So for all of our programs, letters of recommendation should come from a professional with either a graduate degree or a healthcare professional that you have worked with within the past 5 years. We know that, like, for example, a lot of nursing managers do not have a graduate degree, but a nurse manager would be an excellent recommendation for your application. However, they do not need to have a nursing degree. So MDs, DOs, those are very common letters that we get from individuals, and they're more than acceptable for students to submit on their behalf. So when can letters be submitted to your graduate application? Letters of recommendation can be submitted once you start an application and are due by your application deadline. We will not accept a letter that is sent to us prior to you applying. And if we do not have all 3 letters by your deadline, your application will not be considered. This is extremely important that you communicate to whoever your recommenders are that they must abide by those deadlines. Every application cycle, we always have students that are missing usually just 1 letter by the deadline. And unfortunately, we cannot consider that application because it's an incomplete application by the deadline. All of our programs are professional, highly competitive programs. So it is important that whoever your recommenders are abide by those deadlines. I really can't stress that enough. So how do you get your letters of recommendation to us? Letters of recommendation are submitted directly to us. On the application, you will submit the names and contact information for your recommenders. I will go over how you do that in just a little bit. Your recommenders will then be emailed directly rather than regarding submitting their documents. Sorry. This is an automated email, and we highly encourage that you use a recommender's personal email address rather than a professional one. Several healthcare firewalls prevent our automated emails to getting through. This we see time and time again, where a recommender says, well, I never got your email. They need to either check their spam filter or provide us with a different email address. I know that, for example, Strong Hospital in Rochester, New York, none of our automated emails get through their system. So that is one example of a healthcare system that it is very difficult if you provide a Strong Memorial Hospital email address. If your recommenders have not received an email from us within 48 hours of submitting your application, encourage them to either check their spam folder or contact me, and I can work with them to hopefully resolve the issue of getting them the email that they need to submit your letter of recommendation for you. So let's talk about briefly how to actually add recommenders to your application. In another session, I actually believe it's the next session, I'm going to be going over how to actually fill out the application in full. I will just take us step by step through the application and let you guys know how it's done. But so this is what our application looks like on our website. And this is the recommender page. What you're going to do is when you get to this step in the application, you're going to hit the add recommender button, which is what the arrow is pointing there. A pop-up then comes up, and this is where you will input your recommender's information. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory, nothing too crazy there. When you have completed this, you will send to the recommender. When you hit this button, the email should, within an hour, automatically be sent to the email address that you used here. Again, this is kind of talks about junk folder and spam, so it's very important to read that as well. Once you do that, for your 3 letters of recommendation, you'll be able to continue on the application. You'll be able to go through there. So let's talk about what the actual recommender sees when they get this email. So this is the email that comes through. Obviously, I sent this to myself, but that's why it's a double Gillette right there. So this is what the recommender sees. This is the email address. This is the email that's sent to them. I've blackened out the link, but that's each individual recommender is given a specific link that only they can use. The email will come from nursing@buffalo.edu, and the subject line will be recommendation request from your name for School of Nursing. And this is exactly what it looks like. So when the recommender gets this and they're ready to submit a letter on your behalf, they will click this link, and then they will be brought to this web page. It was too long of a web page to do in one slide, so this is broken up, but it's one web page. So this is what they first see. They input their name and go through here. This is one step that some recommenders seem a little confused on, so I'm going to explain it to everyone. They will click this button to upload a file. This is the file that they're actually uploading, the actual letter on your behalf. They must use this. They will upload a file. It must be a PDF. It must be a Word document, and they'll upload it there. There's no length or anything like that, but they do need to upload a letter on your behalf. They then will go through. It's pretty straightforward. They'll list what type of recommendation it is, length of time that they've known you, brief capacity, coworker, supervisor, doesn't have to be more than 1 or 2 words. And then they'll scroll down. Again, this is all one page. It's not a multiple page that they'll be brought to. It's just I couldn't fit it all on one slide. Then they have to fill out this brief summary. They'll indicate how highly they recommend you for the program, and then they'll rate you on these skills right here. Again, nothing too crazy, listed all right there. They'll write their name, and then they will submit it. Once they submit it, they're done. They've completed the process. But how will you know if your letters of recommendation have been submitted? Students, when they fill out the application, will be given a link to a status portal. And on that status portal, they will be able to check what documents have been submitted and if there are anything outstanding. This will also include letters of recommendation. So you'll be able to see which letters you're missing and which ones you still need to submit. You can send a reminder email to them if it's taking a little bit longer to submit. There's a button that you can send a reminder email to those individuals. So with that, like I said, these are brief presentations to just go over one component of each of the application. If anyone has any questions and you're on the line, I will stay on the line as long as there are questions. But for those of you that are watching this recording, please feel free to contact me at either my email address or my phone number, and I am more than happy to answer any questions for individuals regarding this. So with that, have a great day, everyone that are watching this at home. And for those that are here, I will stop recording.